workshop today. We're not going to be here long because we're headed outside. So we're going to dig through all that countertop material that we got and find something to work for our countertops in the guest bath remodel. So took some measurements, doodled them down on my project board. So got a little diagram of what we want to cut out of that. So let's go see what we can find, and I'll probably do some practice cutting because I need to make sure I can get a straight line because that saw that I burned up was way too small and it was wandering all over. So I got some other stuff, some new blades, a saw specifically for cutting the stone. So let's find a piece that's going to work for us and do some layout and go from there. Okay, so I'm having a little issue with the blade wandering and not getting a straight line. So, I mean, that was my first attempt. I was going through the whole piece here, and then it was kind of wandering, so I adjusted the height and took about half the piece, but it still wandered on me. This one, and I changed out my straight edge, so now I got a steel straight edge. It started out okay, and then you can see it kind of dipped in and then went out, and I watched the whole time, and I was up against my little fence here. So I don't know if the arbor on that is wacky or the blade is flexing too much or what's going on, but I have to do some thinking. But since it's the day before Christmas, I am going to clean up the garage a little bit and get cleaned up and enjoy the evening. So we'll think about this the next day. Or not, we'll see. I think I've got the supplies I need, parts I need, tools I need, all that kind of stuff to make this happen. And I've done some stuff off camera just for some testing purposes. I recorded some of it, didn't record all of it, but let me show you kind of what the results were. So I tried a lot of stuff to cut a straight line. You think, oh, cut a straight line with a saw, that's pretty easy. Not in this granite, it's been a pain in the butt. So here are my test cuts. So you can see not a single one of those is straight, especially like some of them just get way, some are a little, oh, that one went in a little bit, but then went crazy in and then out and stuff. So I tried a wood board as a straight edge. I tried a long ruler as a straight edge, so straight piece of metal. That didn't work. I go, okay, there's either two things wrong. Either the arbor on my saw is wobbling, because it's an old worn out saw I'm using, or I need a better straight edge. So I go, well, track saws are pretty good, but I want to spend a fortune on a track saw and use it to cut stone and ruin the track saw. So my version of a track saw, my local discount store bought that for $8. But after using it and trying it, I go, I think the arbor wobbles too much. So the blade will wobble in there and chatter and then kind of start wandering. So I bought a better cheap one because I go, well, I'm still going to destroy the saw probably because I'm not going to do this with water. Or if I did, I'm like, well, blow the thing up or just overheat it like I did with that tiny little saw. So I bought a cheap $35, who cares if I destroy it after I'm done my project kind of thing. And I put those, after my other things didn't work, I bought a little track saw conversion. So the sled of the saw goes here, and then you got this nice track, straight, straight, straight. And we tried that. It wandered with that too. So I figured, well, I've seen guys on the internet and people that do this for a living just like freehand it, with a grinder. So I go, well, I put the 7¼ inch blade on a grinder, made it a total death wheel. Had that thing flying at my face, no guard on it. So that worked good. So I've got some video of that. I cut the whole countertop doing it that way. So it's going to be a bit of polishing and grinding the edges to get those to look good. But the way I cut this one, the front edge is already polished. It's a used piece, so it was already polished. So I need to polish one side of it. And I need to cut holes for the sink and the faucet. So before I cut a hole in my, nice newly cut piece of stone, I figured I might as well test it. So I tested hole cutting on a piece and just make sure I wouldn't wander, because I tried it for my tile with a cordless drill and it wanted to wander all over the place. So I don't think the speed was fast enough. So with this thing on an angle grinder, it did really well. I was able to start really well. It didn't skip across the surface. It went through really well, pretty quick. And then I test fitted that hole that I cut with my hole saw, both my sink drain for the vessel sink and the faucet for that sink, and everything fits just fine. So I will go out and cut those holes and hope they go as well as this guy did, because that went well. So wish me luck. Let's cut some holes in some really nice granite. right, it is update time. So I spent most of yesterday, or a good portion of yesterday, doing some stuff off camera. So let me show you what I was doing. So I did show, I think, some time-lapse stuff of the main countertop and then drilling the holes in it. What I didn't show you was me cutting the backsplash. So I found some other pieces that would work pretty well with the countertop. Typically, if a professional's doing this, they're cutting it out of the same slab. So this is the layout, and their machine would just cut a piece right there, and it would roll up and then roll up here. So that way the pattern is consistent, and if you have a cool banding like this running through, it'll run through your side piece too. I mean, you lose an inch, you lose an inch when it comes up and sits on top of it, but the pattern's pretty well intact. So with me using scraps, you do the best you can. And so for the value of that I'm getting out of it, I'm comfortable with that. So would it be better at a professional job? Yes, but they have a lot more expensive pieces of equipment than I do. So I rough cut stuff because I did everything by hand. So there's a bit of cleanup here. It's not quite square, so I got to clean up an edge here. When I cut these, I was very careful. So this is already a factory polished edge, so I don't have to worry about the front. On the countertop, all I have to do is polish this edge because these two edges are going against the wall, so those don't matter too much. These are bottoms on here, so I don't have to worry about those too much other than squaring them up. And then I kept the factory cut edge here, but not polished. So I just have to polish a factory cut edge and a factory cut edge here. So a lot less work for me, hopefully. So just one cut edge that I need to clean up and do the best I can with, and then start polishing. So let me square these up and then we'll show you the polish. All right, I think I got the countertops and the backsplashes as squared up as I can with the tools I have. So it's never gonna be as precision as, a CNC or a countertop company can do with their saws and stuff, their wet saws. But we're squared up, so I think we're gonna start polishing now. If you remember, got all those polishing pads, so I got a 50 grit on there, and it goes all the way up to 8,000. Not sure we're going to use every single pad, but we're going to use a lot of them. So time lapse, we'll show you a few, I'll show you doing one edge. I'm not show you everything because it's repetitive, but I'll show you doing one edge and kind of what it takes. And we're just going to real basic flat profile and round over the edges. polishing was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to take forever, but you go through a ton of different pads, but each pad you're not spending a lot of time on because you're polishing, you're not grinding stuff off. So we already squared it. This is just a polish at the edge. So let me show you what we ended up with. Probably can't see very good, but that's a factory edge. So top's pretty good. Oh, the sun just went away. So nice and smooth and shiny. This is the front edge that was done by the factory. And then we come around to the edge we just did. So kind of see, it is super smooth. So I am pretty happy with that cheap little kit I got on Amazon. So I used every single one of those pads from 50 to 8,000. So pretty happy with it. So this is fit and it's ready to install. So I think I'll do the pieces that the backsplash on the back and the side real quick. You don't have to watch me do that, so you get the idea with that. It's a lot of different pads, but wasn't so bad. All right, well, you weren't here for part of that, but I think it went pretty good. So we got all the edges polished that we're gonna see, and the edges we're not gonna see. We just made sure they were squared up and flat and level. So it turned out pretty good. So there's our two backsplash pieces. There's our back, and then there's our left side. So we polished the very ends and the tops that we needed to. And then here's the countertop. Turned out pretty good. We got our holes cut where we need them to. One in the center for the sink, and then the faucet in the back. This was the factory edge, so that looks pretty good. It matches the side pretty good. So happy how that turned out. So now the exciting part, we get to install it. So nothing crazy. So I'm just going to use some caulk to adhere it to the countertop to the cabinet. Then I'll probably go on the inside and do a bead of caulk around the inside just so you don't see it. And then for the backsplash, just going to put some caulk on the back, stick it to the wall, and then take these bricks wrapped in a towel and push them up against the backsplash here to keep them from moving while they're drying. So nothing too crazy. Get it up on the wall and let it dry, because then we'll caulk all the seams so it looks all nice and clean and professional. We don't get any water dripping back there. And then install the sink and finish up the bathroom. That'll be nice. Okay, so I didn't show you this, but obviously the countertop's in place. I laid it, fit it, made sure everything was going to be okay with it. And then I went underneath the cabinet and then caulked it in place. So I have one little shim in the corner because it was rocking a little bit, so I wanted it nice and stable. And then we caulked around all the edges. So now I just need to caulk the backsplash and put that in place. So nothing special, just this silicone caulk. And once this is all stuck in there and dry, it'll come back and seal all the corners and edges and stuff. You can either tape these in place. I'm just going to put a brick and keep it, make sure it just stays upright and against the wall. Yeah, give that some time to dry, and then we'll come back and fill in all the corners with caulk and set the vessel and be done. Hey, it is the next day. Let's get this sucker done and get using it. So yesterday, after I got the countertops in, I came in afterwards when I got home from a friend's house and finished caulking all the edges and everything. So that is all done. Let's get the faucet installed because it's in the back and the vessel's going to be in the way, and then the bowl set, and then we can hook everything up underneath. So pulled the door and the drawers out of there so I can have access down there. So we'll knock that out, and then the rest of it is, fix the carpet down there, rehang the door, put in the little door stop there, hang some towels, that kind of stuff. So you always think you're all done with a project, and then you go, oh, I just got to grab some towels and things like that, and you're out another $100. So anyway, let's get to it, knock that out. Probably do a little speed video of there, and you listen to some nice music while I'm working. Let's do that. So I just reinstalled the door to the bathroom, and I think that officially makes the project complete. So I kind of feel like I should be wearing a tuxedo and do a little ribbon cutting ceremony, but I'm not that formal. So I'm in my comfies, and I'm just going to show you the bathroom. So way happy that it's done. It was a long time coming, lots of months, big delay there with the boo-boo I got on my arm, but come on in and take a look at the final project. So just gonna walk in and give you a look at everything. So doors back on there. Love the tile. Something a little bit different, a little bit funky, but it's a spare bathroom, so that's kind of the place to do it. So I'm gonna shut ourselves in here. So I think the trim turned out well. I'll just keep going and see access to the ceiling. We did a two-tone, so the ceiling is white, walls are gray. Towel racks are installed. I kind of picked these towels because they're like a medium gray. I thought they went really well. And they also, when we get to the shower and stuff, there's kind of a little waffle pattern in them, which matches the kind of waffle pattern in the curtain. So I thought that was kind of cool. The vanity, we saved a bunch of money. Not effort, but we saved a bunch of money by reusing it and repainting it and fixing it up some. So I think that turned out pretty good. You go back to the old videos and see the issues we had with the paint and stuff on that. Countertops, that was this video, so I don't think I want to talk more about countertops because that was a rough week. So they are in and done. If you want to know all the how-tos and all that kind of stuff, how I did it by hand, let me know and I'll do something, a quick little something. But I'm just happy it's in. So I think it turned out really well. I've got enough stuff and enough ambition, I think, to try the other ones. I've learned quite a few things, and it's a lot quicker and better, I think, now. So vessel sink is in there. Faucet, the mirror, the frame we made. We did a little swapperoo on the light. We had something else picked, but remember the electrical issue we had? So got some local photographer, his stuff up on the wall on both sides. And then a little trip we went on. Amsterdam, photo there. And then the shower. The big thing there was replacing that little trim that was that dusty rose and changing out with that really cool tile. It's kind of a green tan, and it really brings out the tan or the bisque color of the tile, and you can really tell a difference when we change the color. So it's kind of all blended, but all done. It's tough to show a bathroom because it is so small. But hopefully you didn't get too dizzy with me spinning the camera around, but I don't know a better way to show a small room. I'm up against the wall on the other side trying to kind of show you a panoramic shot of everything, but I got to fit in here too. So anyway, if you followed along with all those videos, I think there was like 12 in total for a little bathroom. So I appreciate it. If you would like, share, subscribe, mash all the buttons. That helps me a ton. Watch, rewatch, give me ideas. Not quite sure what the next project's going to be, but I think I might take a little break and do some smaller stuff. Maybe another small item like the last video we did, which is a little break for those little pencil holders or something. But I'll come up with something. But right now I'm happy about this. I'm going to go edit and stuff and then relax and enjoy the rest of my weekend. I hope you do too. Thanks for watching.